I'm knee deep into this, but I'm gonna add this to the start of my videos. If you guys are unsure of yourselves, I wouldn't even mess with this cable replacement. I looked at some YouTube videos that looked real simple. Maybe you guys have better luck than I did. I had no luck at all. You'll find out through my install the problems I ran into. So I wouldn't mess with it unless you have to, or maybe you got a shop. I just don't have a shop nearby. The problem with this here at Fort Bragg is there's not anything nearby. We have to drive all the way to Raleigh to even get any kind of support. So I kind of do all my own work. I'm gonna modify all these lines so there won't be any more problems. By the way, with my modified line, you could just snake it through there. Matter of fact, I could even go with the heavier. I have a 2mm line now. I could even go with a thicker line. So I'm definitely going to change these out. But I don't have all the parts right now. You see everything laying out. It took me a while to get to this point. So, but I'm going to put this at the start of the video. If you guys don't feel comfortable changing your rudder lines out, I would just stop and not mess with it. So the handle should be pretty simple. All right. So we're going to take these screws out here. Loosen those screws up. I'm going to remove this cover altogether. We're going to take these lines out. So we'll pull that out and do the same here. And let's go ahead and take this cover off. I use blue Loctite on this. I'll put some more on here when I reinstall it. Just don't want to lose my rudder. Just come right up. Alright. Now we have that up. And there's our lines are loose. So I'm going to cut these. Cut the ends off and we'll pull them that way. I just don't want to leave those ends on there. So it's the point of no return. Once we cut these off, then we're stuck. So I'm replacing them because they started fraying quite a bit. I do put a lot of miles on my kayak. Cut that end off. Cut that end off and we'll pull those through. Alright, we got them pulled through. Alright, we got the old handle off. That's the old handle. There's not any bearings on there. There's just kind of plastic on plastic. Real flimsy. So this is what the next level design is going to look like. Ryan Garrett. So it's going to be a nice upgrade. So we'll get that installed and see what it looks like. Looks like I'm going to have to drill some holes. He told me about that. Now I realize what he's talking about. I'm going to have to drill a hole for all 4 of those bolts. Shouldn't be a problem. Okay, so what I did here was I took a piece of construction paper and I learned this trick in the Army. Kind of cut out the center and then I gingerly tapped on it with a ball peen hammer and that cut out my pattern. And then I used a center punch to punch the holes. So now we have a pattern to screw the holes in our plate here. So, and if Ryan, if you're watching this, you make a great product, but you know, it wouldn't be too much, I don't think, to print that off and send that along. Maybe. Okay, looks like I got it finished up. What I did after I got the cutout made is I've put the old handle back on from the bottom to make sure I get it straight, and then I'm gonna use a center punch out those and drill those holes out. So I'll get those drilled out and be right back. All right, looks like it warmed up to about 45 degrees today, so I'm gonna keep the beanie, but I lost the jacket. Get some coffee in me, keep me warm. Got my holes drilled, so we'll see how that turns out. He didn't have any washers with it, but I'm gonna install some stainless steel washers. That way to keep the flex off that plate. We'll see how that turns out. I don't know if I'm gonna have room for them. They might be a little big now that I'm looking. I don't know if I have any smaller washers, but yeah, they're gonna be a little big because of that piece there. We'll figure something out. I may have to run to the store later and get some washers. I'm big on washers, especially when you're talking about having a plastic backing plate, and as heavy as that mechanism is, I'd really like to get a stainless steel washer in there. Let's see what sizes I have here. I have some smaller ones. Yeah, these will probably work. We'll use those. And we'll use some blue Loctite. Make sure everything's good. Those don't look stainless steel to me. Let's take a look. Yeah, those are stainless. Those are stainless. That's a stainless. Let's see if we got one more stainless. Somehow I got some non-stainless mixed in here. And there we go. One more. There we go. Alright, so we're set. I'm not going to use the lock washers because I'm going to use a little Loctite on there. Got a lot of red sticky, Lucas red sticky. I like that stuff. Had it all over that other handle to give it a little more, reduce some of the friction, but we're not going to need that now. So the handle should just mount on there, just like that going forward. Let's see. It looks like that. And it should work fine. See if our holes are lined up. Alright, we got that mounted. And full disclosure, a rat tail file made up for my inability as a carpenter, so cleaned up some of the holes. They worked pretty good, but they were a little off, so I used a rat tail file and got those cleaned up and got it all mounted. So we're ready to go. I'm going to put the wheel on here. Now on the wheel, I've decided I'm going to use I am going to use a big washer on this wheel, and I'm going to use a lock washer as well. So I'm actually going to use an oversized washer, and I'm also going to use a lock washer on there. So we'll get to that in a minute. All right, we're getting ready to add the cabling. You're learning, I'm learning as I go, so you guys are learning along with me. First time doing this job. Looks pretty simple though. You have little brackets or little pins holding those in. I could probably pull those cotter pins out, but I think I'm gonna leave them in there, and I'm just gonna pull this through. And then what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to measure my cable, my rudder cable, to be the exact same size this is. That way we're not reinventing the wheel. This seemed to work good, so I'm going to do the same thing. So I'll measure this up exactly and cut it. All right, so here we go. Basically measured it up to be the same. Gave myself a little bit of extra play there, but that's so we're going to go ahead and install it. It should go up through this hole. Actually going the wrong direction. Look at that. Telling you guys wrong. We need to go through the top with these cables. Let's do that. We'll put them right through here. Like this cable should work pretty well. We'll see. And then we're going to go through either side. Hopefully we don't twist it up. We should be all right. Let's go through this side first. Okay. It's a pretty thick cable. Doesn't want to bend once you get a twist in it. That's what I kind of was looking for, was a thicker cable maybe. All right. And I'll put the size and brand that I got in the description. I believe it's 2.0 is what I ended up going with. I think it's 2 millimeter. So pull that one down. Let's see what we got here. It's got a little twist in it. There we go. That goes there. And we'll twist this one over. Pull it. There we go. So we get a little more play out of there. That's it. And that's going to go right through the center there. So we're all set up. So now all we got to do is feed them in through these holes. And this ought to be interesting. Let's see how easy this is.